What do you get when you combine a passionate and veteran sports writer with a wife who is a casual observer? The answer? Married to the Game. This landmark sports talk radio show discusses sports from a married couple's perspective. Married to the Game with Rory and Lakita begins right now.
What's going on, good peoples? My name is Rory Sharrock.
And I'm Lakita Sharrock.
And this is Married to the Game. Man, it is so good to be back on the scene in the lab recording another session.
It is, and I really enjoyed our time off, though.
It was good to get some vacation.
Yes, in the mountains and the serene nature.
Going up to Tennessee, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area, the Great Smoky Mountains. I really loved on the road trip up there, going through Knoxville and seeing the University of Tennessee.
Oh, did you not get excited?
Go Vols and seeing Neyland Stadium.
Yeah.
Where the football team plays at. So that was cool, of course, for me.
And it was cool, spending time with our We Dig 'em family. Much love to our family out there. And, just being accountability partners with each of the married couples. We are married to the game, but we have a village of married couples that we keep us accountable.
It was a good time. And we did enjoy our time off because time is a precious commodity. Mm-hmm. And as my mother always says, time waits for no one. And we shouldn't know, but we're all guilty of taking it for granted. So we really need to treasure all of the hours, minutes, and seconds. And let's put time in its proper setting by honoring the past, present, and future.
So right now, we'll recap the NBA season and look ahead to the playoffs.
The Boston Marathon returns April 17th.
It sure does.
But before that big race, we'll reminisce about 1967 and celebrate the 50th anniversary of Kathrine Switzer's historic feat in this landmark event.
Ha, my love. And of course, everybody loved kickball back in the day. We talk about Go Kickball, the premier co-ed adult league on the new season and its mass appeal.
Now, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And we dive deep with the stars of tomorrow at the High School of Sports Management in Brooklyn, New York, as they prep for their annual Men's Day.
I really enjoy spending quality time with you.
The feeling is mutual.
We also love spending time with our listeners.
Yes, y'all. Thank you so much. You guys have helped in our progression from past shows, from day one to where we stand here in the present.
And we look forward to a bright future right here on Married to the Game.
Yeah. Okay, the dress rehearsal, better known as the NBA regular season, is in the books.
What?
We were witnesses to history this year. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double for the whole season. He's the first player since Oscar Robinson, the Big O, did it 55 years ago. Now, Westbrook and Rockets guard James Harden, they're neck and neck in the MVP race. I would want to give it to Kawhi Leonard, but your boy from the Spurs.
All right now.
But I'll roll with Westbrook to get the MVP. I've been flip-flopping on that all year. I'll give it to Russell Westbrook.
Can't believe it.
Now, the Warriors added KD in the summer. Never missed a beat. Best record in the league.
But what about those Spurs, though?
The Greek Freak out of Milwaukee. He's a rising star. The Washington Wizards.
But all these stats. But what about the Spurs?
The Washington Wizards won a division title for the first time in decades. The Knicks made headlines this year for all the wrong reasons.
That's because they suck.
They do.
They not the Spurs, though. The Spurs represent all the time, baby. What's up, Spurs in the house?
Okay, it's playoff time now.
That's what I'm talking about.
First round action starts this weekend.
Spurs all the way, baby. Spurs all the way.
Well, I knew that already, so we'll leave it there.
Come on now.
Now, speaking of your San Antonio Spurs.
Come on, that's what
the Warriors
I'm
are the top seed in the West. The Spurs are number 2. So, but the Spurs, they're playing Memphis. You grew up in Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
It's not that far of a drive to go to Memphis.
Not
if you were
at
there,
all.
you could go see that series, at least while the Spurs were on the road.
And watch the Spurs beat Memphis. Even though I know it's kind of like wrong for me to go against Memphis since they were so close to where I used to live.
Okay.
But we're talking about Tim Duncan's former team. I know he doesn't play anymore.
That's understood.
But it's the Spurs, baby, all the way. So we could just go on and just, we could squash this. The NBA season could be done, period. Championship's just done. Everything is done. Spurs win. Give them the trophy and let's all go home.
Enough with all the San Antonio Spurs talk.
You wish.
I have in the NBA Finals the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But before we get to that, let's just break down the first round matchups and moving forward for the rest of the playoffs.
All right, I got you.
We're all in agreement that the Warriors are going to beat Portland.
Yeah, that's a given.
We're split on the Clippers and Utah Jazz. I got the Clippers winning in 6. You're taking the Utah Jazz in 5.
Of course. And we already know the Utah Jazz go beat them out.
Then, Oklahoma City versus the Houston Rockets. Russell Westbrook versus James Harden, the 2 MVP candidates. We're both taking Houston, even though I got Westbrook winning the MVP.
Right.
I'm taking the Rockets in 7 games. You think the Rockets are going to win in 5 games?
Yeah. I just really think it'll be a easier victory. You think they're going to drag it out a little bit more.
Over in the Eastern Conference, the top seed Boston Celtics.
All right. You already know.
We both have Boston beating Chicago.
That's right.
I got the C's winning in a sweep. You're giving the Bulls at least 1 game, so you have Boston winning in 5.
Right, in 5 games. Right.
The Washington Wizards and the hometown Atlanta Hawks.
Right.
The Hawks aren't getting out of the first round.
And I still don't understand why you're not going with your home team. What's up with this loyalty thing? Do you not understand that loyalty should win at all costs?
You're going with your heart. I'm going with my head. I'm taking the Wizards.
Boy, you and these stats and these statistics and who doing what on the court, it's not about that. It's about that loyalty. Atlanta go bring it because they already know we at home cheering for them. That's just what they go do. The Hawks in there. Go ahead, Hawks. Fly like a bird.
Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers. The Cavs struggled down the stretch, but they'll still do away with the Pacers with ease. Toronto and Milwaukee. I'm rolling with the Raptors. You're taking the Bucks in the upset.
I got to.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, I got to talk the Bucks.
That's your old stomping grounds.
Just for childhood
right?
memories alone, I have to go with the Bucks. Just have to.
All right. Then in the second round, I got the Celtics beating the Wizards in 6. You're taking the Hawks. Well, we both have Cleveland.
Yeah, we both have.
Winning in the second round. Eastern Conference Finals. I got the Celtics and the Cavs. You have the Hawks and the Cavs.
Right.
You have the Hawks upsetting Cleveland in 6 to get to the finals. And I got the Cavs winning in 7. It's going to be, for the 3rd year in a row, the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the NBA Finals. This is the best rivalry the NBA has going on.
You know what? I'm beginning to think you're not on the same path I'm on with the Spurs, though, babe.
And you're taking the Spurs to sweep the Atlanta Hawks. Now, if for some odd reason the Spurs played the Hawks, I don't even know if the Hawks make it that far, are they that bad that they would get swept in the finals? Because I don't see them even getting out the first round. But you have them. I have the Golden State Warriors winning the finals in 6 games. So that's the rubber match. The Warriors will have a 2-1 edge over the Cavaliers in their finals rivalry.
I hear you. But all day, the only thing that matters to me is what? Spurs. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go.
We're going to save this. The finals are in June. We're going to refer back to this here.
All day.
Actually, we're going to refer back to this bracket and this show once the Hawks get bounced out the first round, and we'll replay it. Just like how your disastrous March Madness bracket.
Ooh.
We're going to go back to that again. But I do like the Spurs, though. I do like how you have them going deep. But I just don't see them beating the Warriors.
All right now.
Switching gears from the NBA, we talked about the Celtics, but we'll stay in Boston.
All right.
Have you ever been to Boston or to the New England area?
I have not. Well, you're taking me, right?
Yes. It's a date.
All right.
It's a region of the country that they celebrate their past and their history. Beautiful scenery. And over in the coastal areas, great seafood.
Oh, see, you got me right
Right
there.
up my alley.
Wow.
Lobster, clam chowder, fish, you name it.
Yes, let's go.
Crabs, it's beautiful.
I'm ready to go, babe.
Now, the Boston Marathon is one of the landmark sporting events of that area, really of the country. It coincides with Patriots Day.
Oh, goodness.
And that is celebrating the battles of Lexington and Concord from the Revolutionary War.
You are a walking history book. You are the historical nerd of all nerds ever to live.
Well, runners from across the globe, they all come to Beantown for the Boston Marathon.
All right.
However, it wasn't always so inviting to competitors. Once upon a time, women weren't even allowed to participate in this race.
What?
That is until 1967 when Kathrine Switzer stepped on the scene.
Oh, it was so interesting reading up on Kathrine Switzer. She is just amazing. The first woman to compete in the Boston Marathon. Woo! Talk about a fearless pioneer. And you know what? Forget Wonder Woman. She my hero now. Her story is so inspiring.
Yes, it is.
Woo! It encouraged me to get out, run, and get it. I'm so active now, like 261 Fearless.
That's right.
Hear me roar.
And this year marks the 50th anniversary of her run in the Boston Marathon. Now, on April 17th, she'll be out there with the crop of runners. And we were so honored to speak with Switzer and her husband, Roger, about that historic run in 1967, her organization, 261 Fearless, and all things racing. And her words, they touched you, they touched me too.
Oh my, it's lit a fire under me. I'm about to be a new runner. I'm not walking no more.
Check it out. Roger and Kathrine, thank you for joining us today on Married to the Game. We'll start off with the 1967 Boston Marathon. It forever changed your life. But Kathrine, you enjoyed athletic success prior to that race. So tell us about some of those accolades.
Well, I wasn't a great runner, and thank you. We're delighted to join you here today, Kathrine and Roger. And I must say that I started running when I was 12, and then I played field hockey, I played lacrosse. I even ran on the men's track team at Syracuse. I even ran on the men's track team at Lynchburg College before I went to Syracuse because they had a conference that allowed women to run. No other women did run, but I did. And then I ran in AAU competitions, but I wasn't really very good. The reason being is all the distances were too short. The longest distance for a woman was 800 meters.
What do you remember most about the days leading up to the 1967 Boston Marathon? Even that night before, were you nervous? Did you have a hard time sleeping, or was it just, I'm ready to run and I'm relaxed and let's go?
The days before, I was in Syracuse, New York, training with a volunteer coach of the men's cross-country team. He had run 15 Boston Marathons, and I had to prove to him in practice that I could do the distance. So about 3 weeks before, I ran my first 26-miler with him in practice, and we actually ran 31 miles because I wanted to make sure no matter what, I could finish the Boston Marathon and that he would help me enter the race. And when we ran the 31 miles, I was so excited and happy, but I was very sore. But my coach passed out, and he said women have hidden potential in endurance and stamina. But he helped me sign up for the race. And from that moment on, I was very sure, a little nervous, but anticipatory. I felt I could cover it. And I got to tell you guys, I wasn't there to prove anything. I was just there as a kid. I was just 20 to run a race and to take the gift from my coach, who had promised to take me if I showed him in practice that I could do it. A woman had run the Boston Marathon the year before. She jumped out of the bushes and ran, and women throughout history. In fact, Roger, who is sitting right next to me, has written about other women who had run marathons but really didn't get much recognition.
Well, either marathons or things that people called marathons, because